Come on in. Oh, hi there. Susan, right? Come on in, come on in. So how you doing today? Oh, sit down, will you? Oh, skip the formality. Just call me Tom. Listen, all my friends do. Can I get you some coffee? No? How about some tea? I know you prefer some fruit juice, right? Oh, sure I got fruit juice. My kids drink this stuff all the time at home. I guess I picked up the taste for it from them, huh? So, let me see here. I keep this stuff around all the time now. For myself and the kids if they drop by. And once in a while you get quite a taste for this sort of thing, you know what I mean? There you go, I'll put it there. So listen, I read your letter. It's a really nice letter. So you want to get involved in public relations, huh? Well, I think that's great. I'll do whatever I can to help you get started. I remember what it was like way back when. So Harry's your uncle, huh? Oh, boy, he's a great guy. What a character, huh? We go back a long way, you know. Yeah, we were college roommates in our freshman year. We joined the same fraternity, Phi Gamma Delta. Boy. Did Harry ever tell you about the hell we had to go through to get into that house? No? Oh, God, those were crazy times. I'll never forget it. Every week we used to have to get into these empty wine barrels, right? And the brothers would roll us around the backyard like we were racing cars or something. Oh, God, it was enough to get you sick. Oh, but the ultimate test of faith came when they blindfold us, right, in the cow pasture, and they want to roll us down the hill into this farmer's pond. Oh, jeez, what a crazy night. What happened? Well, the pledge master comes around to each one of our barrels, right, and he asks us if we can swim. Well, I'm terrified because I can't swim at all, especially when I'm inside some smelly old wine barrel, right? But your uncle and me, we really want to belong, and I don't want to let Harry down, so I say, sure, yeah, I can swim a little. He says, good. And he pushes the barrel down the hill towards the pond. Oh, God, I thought I was going to die. And you know, for a few moments there, as that barrel's rolling over and over, I'm actually prepared to drown in this farmer's pond just to become part of the group. Fortunately, of course, somebody stops the barrel before it goes into the pond, but it was pretty close there. Now we're all linked together in a fraternity chain hanging down in the basement. Oh, jeez. So how's the job search going? Ah, well, I'm sure something will turn up for you soon. Hey, you got a good writing style here. You honors degree in English, features editor for the school paper. Listen, that's great. It's all great training. You shouldn't have too much trouble finding work, believe me. And as I'm sure you know, in public relations, it's important to get along with everybody, especially the people you don't really like, if you know what I mean. Only, of course, you don't let people know that you don't really like them. And if you look hard enough, you can always find something good about, well, just about anybody, right? It's part of the game, part of the challenge. Taking a flaw and turning it into a feature. Oh, they do it all the time in the high-tech field, right? And look at Johnson & Johnson with Tylenol. Wasn't that great public relations when the chief exec went on TV and did a press conference for the national TV? Oh, I thought that was great PR, didn't you? Well, that's right. The public does have a short memory. They forget the details, but you know, they remember the image, the feeling associated with an event. And the trick for us public relations people is to promote a positive feeling. And if you say something over and over again, eventually the public begins to accept it as truth, right? Yeah, Orwell knew that. Slogans. You read 1984. What am I saying? You're an English major. Of course you did. A scary book, right? But a great book on mass psychology, on how people think. Excuse me. Tom Johnson. Oh, hi, Tony. How you doing? Yeah. Yeah. Oh, well, Tony, I don't know right now. Yeah, I know, but I think I just need a little more time to think it over, you know? Yeah. Listen, I'm right in the middle of a meeting right now. Why don't I call you back in a little bit, okay? I will. Okay, Tony. Bye-bye. Some guy's been calling me for a month. Wants me to invest in a condo in Florida. What do I know about real estate? Well, look, I'm getting hungry. How about you? Hey, listen, you got any plans for lunch? No? Well, great. Listen, why don't we go grab something to eat? Yeah, unfortunately, I don't really have anything open in my department right now, but listen, I can give you a few names of some people that you should contact. Yeah. Listen, you go and tell them that you've been to see me and you want to talk to them about how to break into the public relations business. You know, no. You ask them how they got started in public relations, that sort of thing. Yeah. Listen, in the public relations business, personal contacts count a lot. So the more people you know, the better, right? How's that sound to you? Good? Great, then let's go get some lunch. Okay.
Look, I don't want excuses. I want action. And I don't care what any trend-following market researcher has to say. I don't want advice. If I want advice, I hire consultants. And they only tell me what I already know. Look, I don't want to waste any more time on this. We've discussed it enough already. You know what has to be done. Go ahead and do it the way we planned and report back to me that it went like clockwork, okay?
Your wife's on the line. She wants to know if you're still planning to meet her for lunch at the club.
No, I'm sorry. Tell her I can't make it. And order me a sandwich, will you, Maria?
Okay. Susan Chambers is here.
Who? What does she want?
It's Harry Chambers' niece. She wants to talk to you about some public relations work.
Oh, the college student. She's late.
She got lost.
Send her in anyway, then. I guess I can spend a minute with my client's niece, even if she is a dimwit.
By the way, your wife says to make sure you're on time for dinner. You're going to the theater tonight.
Okay, sure. As if I have time to waste on play acting. Oh, hello, Miss Chambers. I really don't have much time right now. What did you bring me? Oh, well, I'm really very flattered that you just wanted to meet me. Your Uncle Harry and I have done business together for years, but I really don't have much time to chat right now.
London's on the line.
See what I mean? Okay, Maria, 30 seconds. Look, Miss Chambers, you're probably a good writer, right? Okay, why don't you write me a proposal? Do some research on the company. Find a need and fill it. Tell me what you can do for me. Tell me how long it'll take. Tell me how much it'll cost. Then send it to my attention. And give me a call. So the next time we get together, we'll have something solid to talk about. How's that? Okay? Great. Now, I really got to take this call. Nice to meet you. Bye. Yeah, Freddie, what's the deal? It's very romantic, Freddie, but I hope you didn't call me just to have me listen to the chimes of Big Ben. Okay, now what's the story? Time's running short. Can we close them or not? Look, I wasn't exactly planning on a trip to London this week, Freddie. Okay, I'm listening. Shoot, what do you have in mind? We tried that, remember? That's not going to work. No, that won't work either. Hey, now you're talking. Yeah, that's not a bad idea. Yeah, I like it. Huh. Okay, it sounds like a winner. Yeah, do it. And call me the minute you know for sure. Now, where was I? Let's see. Send a letter to Anthony.
Your doctor's office just called to remind you that your physical exam is tomorrow at 10.
There's no way I can do that. Call him back and postpone it till next month, okay?
This is the second postponement. Don't you think you should go this time?
Look, the one thing I don't need right now is free medical advice from my secretary. Just call him back and postpone it till next month.
Okay, but it's your heart.
Okay, where was I? Oh, yeah. Send a letter to Anthony Calarusa, All-American Boy Products. Dear Mr. Calaruso, I read your proposal with great interest, and I require some additional information before I can reach a timely decision in this matter. First, concerning the use of offshore manufacturing facilities.
Darn! Why doesn't this thing work? I know I named the cell correctly and I saved the sheet properly. Oh, hi. You're the rep for that new desktop publishing system, right? My secretary reminded me you were coming in today. I'm afraid I'm not going to have as much time for you today as I'd hoped. I have a deadline to meet. I need to include these financial calculations in this month's sales report and deliver it to the printer by noon. I don't suppose you know Multiplan, do you? I'm having a real problem linking these external sheets. No? Too bad. Would have helped. Well, tell me, what kind of applications is your system best suited for? Well, we do turn out a lot of proposals and technical manuals, and reports too, as you can see. And what we're looking for is a way to get better control of our publication costs. We'd like to produce professional-looking materials without always having to go outside to an expensive offset printing house. Well, that sounds helpful, and some of our documents are quite long, and we usually go through a lot of revisions. How would your system help us there? So it's got a lot of editing power. That's good. You know, we include a lot of technical drawings and equations in our manuals and reports. So how do you incorporate graphics with text? Sounds like you must have a lot of RAM to be able to do all that. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'd have to agree with you there. 3.7 megabytes would probably be sufficient for most of our work, too. What about storage capacity? I think we'll need at least 40 megabytes in a hard disk with floppy backup capability, of course. You go all the way up to 80? How about your screen display? You need magnifying glasses to work with some of the desktop publishing systems I've seen. Really? 2 full-size pages on one screen? And what kind of printer do you output to? Is that a thermal or an inkjet laser? Would it operate off the serial or the parallel port? What's the baud rate? And how many font styles and type sizes do you have? And what's the resolution? 300 dots per inch? Yeah, I figured. That seems fairly standard for desktop publishing. Well, the specs sound pretty good. But to be honest with you, I'm not so sure we're going to want to switch our computer systems. After all, we already have all of our files already formatted onto WordStar. Really? So we'd be able to convert our old files to your operating system? Interesting. Tell me, is this a standalone system, or can we put a group of workstations together in a network? Well, based on the facts, I think this all sounds pretty good. But of course, even if your system can do all you say it can do, we'll still have to decide if this whole thing is cost-effective. I'm not so sure about that. I mean, I'm glad other companies are having a good return on their investment, but the fact remains that we'll still have to see for ourselves if this would be a wise investment for us. Actually, no one person makes the final decision on purchasing new equipment. We work as a team here. But I suppose I do have some influence in what we get. Well, I'll have to get back to you on that. I'll think about it. Say, do you have any literature you can leave behind? Great. A demo? That'd be fine. When can you show me exactly what this system can do? Actually, mornings are better for me. All right. Next Wednesday morning at 10. Oh, just give the directions to my secretary, all right? Thank you for coming in. Now, where was I? Why won't you link up? Damn machines. There must be a bug in this software somewhere.
Hey, how you doing today? I've been looking forward to meeting you. I've read some of your articles. Pretty good stuff. Now, you're doing an article on what now? Creativity in computer software. Great. And what magazine is that going to be in? The Successful Entrepreneur? Great. What do you want to know? The key to my success? I have a short attention span. I'm just a big kid playing in a sandbox. I like to have fun. And I keep score by how much money I make. So far, I got a pretty good batting average. Well, the way I see it, the things going on in the software business right now are truly incredible. And the key places in software are the places where creativity can drive the product into the consumer's homes. Well, that's right. I think that creativity is the necessary tool to take us to the future. And because the development of software is such a solitary activity, it's one of the major areas where the individual can really shine. It's a little bit like painting the inside of a telephone booth. You can always add more people to the job, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to get done any faster, any better. Is it risky? Sure, it's risky. You always have to depend on your own ability to come through. You constantly live life on the edge, but that's where the profit structure is based too. For example, 5 years from now, do you really think that anybody's going to make any money on a word processing program, spreadsheet? And it's doubtful. Those products will have reached the point where they're 90% as good as they're ever going to get. Now, I guarantee you, the most successful software products have yet to be developed. And that includes video games, too. That's right. The products that are going good right now will be profitless in 5 years. You can count on it. And I think that's the way that things should be. The only thing that you can really rely on is your own creativity. I agree. I think that the most successful thing that we can ever do is track creativity. Well, that's true. Of course, it helps if you're a creative person yourself. I mean, simply because running a creative software company means that you have to understand the process of creativity, at least a little bit. You have to understand how a creative person thinks, how they work, what motivates them, what stimulates them. Well, that's true too, because simply being productive in a creative environment is very challenging. You have to maintain a sense of play, a sense of whimsy, a sense of humor. Humor is very therapeutic. It allows you to point out absurdities. I mean, it's the best built-in BS detector there ever was. You have to be able to laugh at yourself. The company that can't laugh at itself or its absurdities is dying at its creative core. What do I do to keep things interesting? I like to pick up in the middle of a conversation in which I'm taking the pro side and then switch over and take the con side. And then I like to see how long it takes people to realize that I've switched positions. Because I'll tell you one thing, it keeps people mentally agile. If during the conversation your people are still sitting there saying, yes, sir, yes, boss. Well, I mean, you got another built-in BS detector there, too. You talk about ways of getting ideas into the marketplace. Do you know that without the American trade show phenomena, this country would be in serious trouble? I mean, you haven't heard of the trade show theory of comparative advantage between us and Russia? Well, I'll tell you about it. Since 90% of the gross national product of this country is created the night before a trade show, well, the trade show theory says that the only societies that America has been able to stay consistently ahead of are those that don't have trade shows, like Russia. Of course, the theory is a corollary to the law that says work expands to fill the time allotted for it. Isn't that, that's what, Parkinson's disease, or Parkinson's law? Yeah, you know what I mean, 6 of one, half dozen of another. You get my point, right? Good. What else you want to know?